This is the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast, episode 165. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. Excuse that funny way I pronounced five, but I'm kind of in a playful mood and enjoying the day so far after a President's Day weekend that was delightful. I like to spend some time weekly talking with you about some element of life, the universe, and everything. And I had a conversation with some friends on Sunday that was really interesting and that it touched on a lot of subjects. And one of them was the struggle to accept someone who works or thinks differently than me. Not me personally, but I think all of us struggle with that thing. You see, for some reason, we expect everyone that we're friends with to be like us. We expect them to think like us, do things like us, act like us. And if we're married to them and we're in a relationship, certainly they should understand us. But people are different, and they see things through different lenses. And I know I struggle to accept that people work differently than I do, that they don't put in the same effort or care as much as I do. Is that true of you too? And how does it come back and hurt you in your other relationships? How does that impact your friendships or your working relationships? Can you find a way that you can accept them for who they are and encourage them to accept you for who you are too? And when I struggle to accept someone for who they are, I start dwelling on all sorts of useless nonsense that really doesn't help either of us get into a good relationship with one another or get anything done. It's, mental stupidity. I go around in these circles that cause me anguish. It was interesting. I was talking to my son yesterday, who's working in a job where he's reporting to an owner who sometimes, she's got her opinions, he has his, and of course he anguishes over the fact that of course she's wrong and is treating him badly. And when he shifted his mind for a moment and could talk with her directly about what his complication was, they had a great conversation and could come to a meeting of the minds about how to move forward. Can't you do the same thing with people sometimes instead of muttering under your breath, enrolling others in your conspiracies, and trying to change people who maybe shouldn't be changed? Maybe it's both of you who need to be changed, not just simply the other person. I think I've mentioned before on the show that I met my wife in graduate school, and we had 3 first dates. After each one of the first 2, she didn't return my phone calls. Now, I used to run men's retreats around the country, and there was a time where I was on one of those weekends and went into the sweat lodge with the attendees and made prayers to my second wife, who had died from her addictions, to let me go, that I might meet someone new. And when I came home from that weekend, there was a message from the woman who had become my wife, saying hi, and I hadn't spoken to her in a year. And I'll just simply say that being alert to divine appointment and anonymous interruptions in life is amazing. When I'm conscious that there's a surprise here that I didn't expect, I pay attention to it. And that's what happened when I met her. We went out on a date, and within a few months, we were going to be living with one another. A few months after that, we were engaged. And a few months after that, we got married. All because we each paid attention to something that presented itself to us that we didn't expect, didn't try and think of consciously, but it was part of that interruption in our life, that divine appointment that brought us together, that we now live together with 20 some odd years later. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. Just subscribe so you can get downloads whenever I release a new episode. Each show contains bite-sized morsels of advice just like today's. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you subscribe. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, visit nobscoachingadvice.com. You can schedule time for a free discovery call or go right into coaching. I'd love to help you. And if you're interested but not quite sure where to start, take the online assessment available at thebiggamehunter.us/success. It will give you a few ideas, and it can be a launch point for our work together. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and take care.